Welcome back, everybody. So this is day two diary. We ended day one with some dinner at one of the Mexican restaurants with like Paul and Mike. Um, and day two started, or day three, if you want to call it, with the keynote. So here we are in the main hall here, and it started off with, as normal, with Natasha and Joseph on stage. But just before that, they had like the intro video. Quite an extravagant video. Really good setup. As I said, this room was huge. Obviously, with 600 people, as you can see, there's not many people in at the moment. This is quite early doors. I think there's still about 10 minutes until the actual keynote started. So I got in there a bit early after breakfast. But as you can see, already people dotted around, and this was pretty much full by the time the keynote started. And it was a really good keynote, and I'm going to go into a bit more detail into that in a second. But you can see massive hall, filling up quite quickly, and the audiovisual stuff's been really good. I've got to say, really on point. Really good setup from Nerdio. So as I mentioned, intro video started here, talking about the value to customers, and Nerdio very much customer focused. Do you know what I mean? All their content and all their sort of services and tools are all focused around what they can do for their clients and their customers. And again, that integration with Microsoft Azure, Nerdio is key to that. So that brings me to the keynote. So once, as we'll see in a second, Joseph and Natasha were on stage just to do some updates, mainly about the day, just updates around the day and the excursions and stuff, which I'll get into later on. We then had the keynote on the main stage, who was Joe Whittinghill, who was a Chief Learning Officer at Microsoft. And he did his session was on leadership in the era of AI. So a very different take on AI, and one that kind of took me by surprise. And what basically the session was saying, and this is my interpretation of what he was saying, was that AI doesn't mean it's the end of people in jobs and whatnot. Essentially, it means that it's an opportunity for our teams to skill up and learn new tricks, essentially, to be able to help manage AI, because it's going to need people skills to do that. It's all around technical skills, and being efficient, and it was talking about technical problems versus adaptive challenges. And at the end as well, there was a really good Q&A, some really good questions, and that was really what I liked about Joe. He did it last year as well, not afraid to take questions and answer them really well. So I went into the foyer then once that keynote was done, and I went to go speak to Liquidware.
Welcome to day two of NerdioCon 2024. Another interview, as I promised. So I'm joined by Jason E. Smith from Liquidware. Jason, good to see you again.
Great to see you.
So Jason's another veteran. I think you've been here every year so far, is that right?
Well, this is our second year.
Second year, right, okay. Jason, tell us a bit about who you are and what you do.
Sure. Well, Liquidware, we provide the most DEX coverage in the industry. And that's because we don't just monitor DEX with Stratosphere or control DEX with our brand new product, Command and Control, but we also can manage it and deliver it with Profile Unity, managing the user and applications, and then delivering it with Flex app, attached applications.
So that's obviously a bit about Liquidware and your product, but what's resonating with you guys at Liquidware at this actual event?
We've seen the most interest for Flex app. Our entire DEX suite has been of interest, but really Flex app, being able to attach applications to an AVD environment, especially with Nerdio as well, Flex app has been a hot button. And that's because we have this new format. It's new as of the last couple of years, and it allows you to attach that application by any means. And so it works with Microsoft Intune. Right. So Nerdio has done some work lately with Microsoft Intune as well. So we could already deploy an application this way because it's a self-contained format. But now Nerdio can also bring that right in through Intune. We could do it before through a script or two, but now it's a nice, elegant solution.
Yeah, with all the Intune integration. Excellent. As far as the event itself goes, how do you compare last year to this year? Because obviously there's a lot more people here. So I think last year was about 200, 250, nearly double now with 600.
Yeah.
How's that been for you guys? How's the sort of interactions been?
Oh, it's been excellent. So we traditionally have sold through enterprise resellers, So there's several of those here, and that's because they handle some of the most complex use cases, the knowledge workers, the ones that have multiple apps, the ones that need the advanced monitoring and pieces like that. They're here, but there's also some MSPs here, and as interest is those larger MSPs that have multiple hundreds of users or thousands of users, as well as complex applications. Our suite will resonate with those as well, and that's what we're finding. The audience and traffic has been very attentive, so it's a beautiful place to hold a conference. But you know, they still have a great interest in this market, and it comes at a great time too. We're seeing this disruption happen in the market with what's going on with some of the platform leaders, and Nerdio and AVD look quite attractive, and there's a lot of people wanting to learn more.
So for those who obviously aren't here, I'll be putting a link to Liquidware's website in the description. But for those who are here, you might be watching this later on tonight. Do come over and see the guys, Jason and his team at the Liquidware booth. Definitely worth it. So again, thank you very much for joining me. And until next time, everybody, goodbye.
So the next interview is going to be one of the partners called Paul Heaton from cubesys.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the I Am IT YouTube channel. I'm still at NerdioCon 2024, so this is day 2, well technically day 3 of the event. And I'm joined by another guest person on my channel. This is Paul Heaton. Paul, welcome.
Thanks, Shabazz. Thanks for having me.
For those that don't know Paul, do you want to do a bit of introduction to who you are?
Sure. Yeah. So Paul Heaton, I'm a CEO and co-founder at cubesys. Cubesys are a Microsoft partner that specializes in AVD.
Yeah. So you've been obviously using Nerdio for quite a long time as well, haven't you, as a business?
Absolutely, yeah. So like yourself, this is the 3rd year.
Yep, veteran.
The veteran NerdioCon, and again, stunning location for this conference, and also fantastic content once again, and really great to meet people here and have the conversations about the AVD community and what's happening globally.
So what sort of stuff are you guys doing then at cubesys with sort of with Nerdio and the AVD sort of piece?
We actually use both of Nerdio's products. So we started off mainly with the enterprise product and working with large organizations, helping them deploy that and optimize that and really move away from legacy Citrix on-prem, all that type of thing, right? But more recently, in the last year or so, in our managed service business, we're really starting to use the MSP product.
Oh, wow, excellent.
And bring a couple of different solutions there. Probably the traditional DAS, but also something we're calling hybrid DAS, where we're finding those mid-market clients that probably don't need a full enemy deployment, but really interested in having AVD inside their own environment, and we have use a hybrid deployment for them.
So obviously this is probably a day and a half now we've had of sessions and keynotes. What's been the highlight so far for you, would you say?
It's so hard to pick one, just one. Obviously the announcements from Vadim and the Nerdio crew. Again, as usual, they're just so amazing how many features they get out and how much development and work they do is awesome. And it's always listening to the clients and addressing those needs, right? So that part's awesome. And then some of the sort of senior Microsoft guys, we had Joe this morning bringing a different angle to AI and talking from the people and learning perspective. So
that surprised me, you know, because everyone thinks of AI as removing that human element, but he was actually talking about skilling your staff up to be able to keep up with AI and be able to manage AI basically.
Yes, which is an interesting concept.
It was
neuroscience stuff that he brings to the table.
Very much so.
That focus on learning. There's a long way to go, obviously, with AI, and like I said, it's going to be very much a people thing. It's really going to be not so much about the technology, because that's there, but get people getting used to using it, and how that changes their roles.
So today's been so obviously the morning was sessions, but actually the afternoon has been about relaxing. So we've been relaxing by the pool, enjoying it. You will see some of that content in this video. So hopefully, Paul, you enjoy the rest of the conference. So everyone, make sure you subscribe to keep up with My Other Diaries. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.
So that was kind of the end of the day then, as far as the sessions went. And then I had an opportunity to actually enjoy the hotel. As I mentioned, there were excursions, and I was due to go on one of the excursions. But you know what? I really wanted to enjoy the hotel by the pool and the beach. So that was pretty much the rest of my day. If I'm honest, I spent in the pool with some people I've met there, like Mike Starnes and Paul Heaton. Enjoyed myself, had some relaxation time, had a bit of time to catch up on some emails as well. But that was the gist of a day. So that's day 2 wrap. So thank you for joining me again. Make sure you are subscribed to make sure you don't miss any content. I will have a day 3 video coming up as well. And until next time, goodbye.